OF2 offers some easy and creative uses. Here's an example. Open one of your songs, place OF2 on any track, and then use the random dice to find a cool preset among the numerous factory presets. It might not be perfect, but it's a great start to find the right vibe. If the new dynamics and filter sound good, you can now generate smart, randomized color variations. Just press Shift, the dice will turn purple, allowing infinite color variations for your filter. Colors are tweaks added before and after the filter to simulate various sound changes that animate with the filter. If you like OF2's color but want a different rhythm, use Alt. This gives you random settings for other morphing LFO in a similar way. The main idea is to breathe new life into your song, and it can do this remarkably well in just a few seconds. OF2 also introduces control over time. First, activate Retime. The time curve can be edited and morphed with groove control. When importing MIDI groove files, OF2 will compute the corresponding time curve. If groove control is over the middle, it will generate an exaggerated version. When set to 0, the groove is inactive. Double-click the knob's sides to find the right position. The imported MIDI files will be saved to an OF2 folder for future use. You can also drag and drop a MIDI file to load the groove. Once you have a good motion and color, let's add some animation. Start with this shape as your starting point. Then open the editor and hit Simplify to keep only the key points. Duplicate it by pressing the plus in the second slot. Move some points to create an alternative version. Right-click anywhere in the editor to switch to Global Edit for more interesting changes, then right-click again to return to the point editor. Use the Morph knob to animate the morph and see how it works. Exit, and you'll observe the same behavior with the Morph GUI knob. Click here to start a new LFO grid session. The main goal is to generate thousands of new LFO in different styles. Each hexagon represents a new LFO. Hover over it to preview. When you find one you like, click on it, and the LFO grid will create a new set with similar curves. The one you picked will be in the top left corner of this next level called Pattern Level. In this grid, busy LFO are at the bottom and relaxed ones at the top. Click to add LFO to the LFO grid session. If none in the grid work, use the mouse wheel to navigate other grids. Finally, click Done to return to the classic editor. Zooming is easy in OF2. You can zoom in two ways, from inside the editor by scrolling down with the mouse wheel, exit by scrolling up, or directly from the main GUI. This is handy for quick edits on a part of the curve, letting you return right after. You can invert the mouse wheel direction for zooming in the options, and another option lets you disable the mouse wheel for zooming. Mouse wheel to move right and left if your mouse has both horizontal and vertical wheels. You can also zoom and navigate with the orange bar at the bottom. Double-click this bar to reset the zoom, just like with the mouse wheel. Two new pencils have been added. The shape of these pencils can be changed by moving the big orange circle. As with other pencils in the editor, press Shift to quantize on the grid. Change the grid size with the mouse wheel on the right side of the editor. New random modes have also been added based on these new pencil modes. Press Alt to mix both attack and decay pencils when randomizing. Input and output signal visualizers are available on the GUI with 4 modes, mono or stereo, and envelope or signal mode. When entering the editor, you can also see the visualizer here. Click on this symbol. Note that with high speed rates, you may see some artifacts, as the editor can be more precise than each sample. Respons modifies the output and colors of the filter. You can edit it to create various responses, like impulse, gate, reverse, or more unusual responses. The dot will change based on the response. On the main LFO, the response will turn red if there's no signal. Use chaos to adjust the morph like an autopilot. Keep in mind, this isn't truly random unless you reset. The autopilot will generate the same morph each time, so you won't get any surprise with your song renders. The rate of chaos is only indicative. You can make it slower or faster. You can use the retime rate to control the chaos rate as an alternative. A simple freeze module has been added, allowing you to freeze the input sound at certain parts of the main LFO. To do this, activate freeze and set both the start and length for the freeze. You can automatically set the right length to match the end of the LFO cycle by double-clicking the len knob. The first mode, called MIDISHOT, is a way to trigger the LFO once with a MIDI note. This way, you can trigger a pump effect from a MIDI signal, like a kick. There is a special section called MIDI pump in the presets where these kinds of effects are stored. By activating free gate, the plugin will act like a monophonic synth. Another special preset section called MIDI synth bass stores all synth-like presets in both MIDI modes. Please refer to your DAW manual to see how to send MIDI note to OF2. When activated, the LFO will perform a read-ahead course responding to the slide-up value, so you won't lose transients. When you need to add some slide-up to avoid short attacks, OF2 will compute the right time to match the transient with a filter already open, as shown here. This is very handy for any rhythmic sound and can save a lot of effort. It can also be used in conjunction with MIDI grooves. The idea of colors is to tweak the sound, adding spice or changing its flavor. There are two color modules, one pre-filter color and one post-filter color. Both colors add dynamics and artificial harmonics to analog filters or envelopes. These effects are not to be used like classic effects, but as a means to dynamically change the filter's colors. The way color reacts to the LFO depends on the color response. In the middle, there is no response, so color effects are just opened. Moving to the right makes the response more and more like the LFO, while moving to the left provides plenty of response types. If you move slowly using right or shift drag, you will find many response styles. Please refer to your manual for details on how each color effect works. The manual is available in several languages. If you start your preset name with =4, this MIDI note on channel 2 will load the preset. If you start the name with =43, the control change will load the preset. This function needs to be activated in options and will only use MIDI channel 2. Locks are here to keep control values when loading new presets. There are 4 lock modes. The first one locks everything except the main LFO, letting you find new shapes and add them. You can also add some intermediary morphed shapes. Once added, press Create Morph to go back to the GUI. Modes 2 and 3 lock other parts of the control, and the fourth mode, called User Locks, only the controls you want. Your selection is stored for future use. MIDI Learn works with VST and audio unit versions. Click on the MIDI logo, then click a control and move a MIDI control to assign it. Shift-click this control to remove the assignment. Click the MIDI logo again to exit MIDI Learn. When loading a new preset, OF2 will ask if you want to keep your current MIDI assignments. Press OK to lock the MIDI assignments. You can also manually lock or unlock the MIDI assignments by shift-clicking or right-clicking the MIDI symbol. This video covers most OF2 features, but some weren't mentioned, like offline activation, MIDI out, 16th offset, oscillator auto mute, using scales, and many more. Please refer to the manual for all the details on every option of this plugin. Thank you for watching.